Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Prospect Charter School's Algebra 1 course. Today we're going over section 2.11, which is percent increase and percent decrease. You hear these a lot, especially when you're talking about the government. They might say things like, we had a 3% increase in spending last year, or a 20% decrease in number of bad things happening in the world. So, what that means is that we need to figure out what exactly they're talking about. Because a 3% increase could mean that there was just one more, or it could mean that there were 300,000 more. We don't know. Not until we actually look at the real numbers. So let's take a look at what an increase and a decrease, percentage increase and percent decrease takes to be able to get to it. All right. So the first one is percent change. Now, percent change can be calculated through a simple formula. The percent change is equal to the amount of increase or decrease divided by the original amount. And because it's a percent, we're going to take that and we're going to multiply it by 100 to represent the percent. So let's take a look at the percent increase. Let's say originally going to McDonald's cost $25. However, you get married, you have a bunch of kids, they order a lot of stuff, your wife orders lots of stuff, or your husband, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh my goodness, now it costs $49 to go to McDonald's. Ouch. What is the percent increase? Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to find the amount of the increase or decrease. This is what is called a change in value. And the way you calculate your change in value is always final minus initial. So we take the final amount and then we subtract the initial amount, and that's how much it changes. So let's look at that. That would be, well, let's see, final is 49, so we'd have 49 minus our initial, which was 25. Doing that super fast in our head, we do 4 minus 2 is 2, 9 minus 5 is 4. So the final minus initial is a $24 swing. So it's $24 more expensive. So now we can plug that into our formula. So it would be the amount of increase or decrease, which is the change. Notice this is the Greek letter delta. In math, that always means change. So if you ever see a little triangle like that when Mr. O'Neill is writing, it means change. So we have the delta is the change in price. So I'd say delta price divided by original. So in this case, that would be, let's see, the change was $24. We calculated that original. Right here. And so after we've calculated that, we go and look at what our original one. Our original was 25. And of course, we're going to multiply the result by 100. Turning this into a decimal, we get 0.96. And again, we're still multiplying that by 100, which is going to be a 96% increase in the cost of going to McDonald's. All the more reason to stay at home and eat curry, because curry is delicious and it's actually somewhat good for you. It's definitely good for you in comparison to McDonald's. All right, so let's try another one. What about a decrease? For an example, what would happen if I had a decrease in number of students that play esports? So let's look at that. Let's say that originally we had 50 students playing esports, and then it turned into 45 after they learned that they would actually have to do studying. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't, of course, tell them that they would have to do math as well, in which case we'd probably drop down to like 2. Anyway, we're going to pretend we actually have 50 students playing esports, and then we drop down to 45. So what is that in percentage change? Well, if we remember our formula for percent change, we have final, minus initial over original. So in this case, our delta is going to be from 50 to 45. So 45 is my final, 50 is my original, all over 50. And 45 minus 50, I think we can do that in our heads. And then what is 5 over 50 as a decimal? Well, that's 1 over 10, which we know as 0.10, which in percent land is 10%. However, we've got an error here, don't we? What's 45 minus 50? Well, 50 minus 45 is 5, but 45 minus 50 is negative 5. So this is negative 1/10. This is negative 0.10. This is minus 10%. This is a percent decrease. If it goes down, it's going to be a negative. If it goes up, it's going to be a positive. So when we see a negative 10% change to the number of students playing esports, we know that it went down by 10%. All right. I do believe that's about it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask. I am going to go over a couple of vocabulary words that we see in the market a lot, and we want to find out what they really mean. But otherwise, it's going to be, we're pretty much done. So let's look over those things. Those things are discount and markup. A discount is always an amount that you reduce by. An amount you reduce by. For example, if you had a 10% discount on a purchase of $2,000 or more, then you would reduce your final price by 10% of what it was. And then the markup, well, it's the exact opposite. This is the amount you multiply or you increase by. The amount you increase by. So jewelry stores do a markup of about 625%. And you might think, oh my God, that's outrageous. But really, it isn't that bad when you take into consideration all the extra things that they have to pay for and that they want to make a decent living as well. So yeah, the markup is a little ridiculous. But if it's a private store, that money's going straight into their pockets. That's what they live on. That's what they send their kids to college with. So it's not so bad. All right, so we have discount, we have markup, we have percent increase, we have percent decrease. We know what this beautiful little symbol means, right? This is the Greek letter delta, and it means change. All right, homework time. Yay, homework. Wow, I can hear you guys moving your books and taking out pencils and papers and getting ready for the homework assignment already. Wow. By the way, you guys really should be quiet while you're doing this. All right, your homework, because I am in a good mood, and I'd probably be in a bad mood in real life and in the classroom, but who knows? We'll see. Your homework is going to be section 2.11. And we're going to do hashtags 1 through 15 odd. Yes, it's very odd. And then we're going to do 19, 23, 25, 29, 31, 35, 36 maybe? No, it's an even. There we go, 37, because we need word problems. 39, because you need to learn how to do estimations really fast. And then 45, 47, and 49. So 45, 47, and 49. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, Mr. O'Neill, why would you give us so much homework? Well, part 1 is I gave you so little homework last time, and part 2 is I'm giving you even easier stuff than you did last night. So honestly, you shouldn't have any problems with this at all. If you do have problems, please feel free to raise your hand and ask. The only dumb person is the one that has a question that they don't get answered. Alright, that's it for today. Good luck and have fun.